Hey, so let's begin this all over again. This time I'm changing the version to the 1.12.2 and beginning from fresh, cloning the repository, then entering that repository, going inside, then checking out this version 1.12.2, generating a key. I think I have already generated the keys in the .ssh folder, so I don't need to run that step again. I have the keys already, so I can just use them. You can generate keys for yourself if you haven't. Then you verify the fingerprint of that key, and it is the same that we have here. That's the same key that we have given to DigitalOcean. Let's go verify in DigitalOcean also. Go log in, check security settings, and then security, and look at the key. It's the same fingerprint that you have here. Okay. Next, we want to make sure that we are giving this key to DigitalOcean and also grab this token from there. So we have to go grab token. The token is available in API, and then token. You generate a new token. I already have generated. That token is available right here, and that is my token, this one. So I'll be using that token. I'm saving it. I will now generate a discovery URL. As you will notice, this discovery URL basically creates a configuration file inside that folder somewhere. So we'll go and examine the folder itself. You will see that currently the contrib CoreOS, this folder contains an example which has a reference to your discovery URL as a variable name. It doesn't have the actual discovery URL itself. This is just an example file. So what we will do is in this location we will create a new discovery URL by typing this command like this. It generates a discovery URL and then puts a new file, contrib CoreOS user data, and the URL will be dd61, that number dd61. So let's go examine that, and there is this new file generated and it has the discovery URL. Let us go search for it. It's right on top, dd61. That's the discovery URL. Next, back here in terminal. So we have generated a discovery. We are going to check whether we have Terraform. And so we will go check Terraform. It is this version we have. So we don't need to install it. So we can skip the install step. Next one, we can skip this also and this also. Then save and quit Atom, refresh the terminal. These are the steps to install Terraform completely. Now we'll go back to our location, which is the DEIS location. This one, which we are already there, by the way, this one. That's great. And then we apply, Terraform apply. That's the same command that we will take, paste it, and run it. This command will go to DigitalOcean, and by the way, I have fixed the issue that I had in my machine, so that is taken care of. That's right, it's working now. You can see that DigitalOcean is creating new droplets for us. 3 droplets, 1, 2, and 3 getting created. Creation of 0 and 1 complete. Third one complete. So all 3 machines complete with 3 IP addresses. That's awesome. We'll go to a DNS location, like I'm using Google. So Cloud DNS from Google. That one is where I'm going to. Go to my console, look at the DNS control panel, which is inside your somewhere in networking. That's what you have. Networking, and then Cloud DNS. We have the old records from here. So this record that we have 1, 2, and 3 IP addresses, we'll just take one after the other, copy them, and overwrite the old information like 1, and also this one, which is the machine number 1. So you copy and save. Then you go to the second machine, copy, go back to Cloud DNS record, machine number 2 this time, which is this IP address, overwrite, save. Machine number 2, overwrite, save. Then get machine number 3, copy, and go edit, and the third IP address, overwrite, save. and the third IP address here, overwrite save. So we now have 3 IP addresses. Those are the same that are matching here, 104.86.141. That's the first one, this one. 3710, 3710, that's what you got 2 places. See this one and that one. 86.141 is here and here. Then we have the last one, 69.228, 69.228, and 69.228. The DNS should be now working okay in 1 minute. Good. So you can close the DNS control panel. We don't need it anymore. Back here in our terminal, back to the right up where we have created this Terraform apply. The cloud is ready now, which means we can check for DNS. So we have set DNS settings appropriately. We can now go and verify whether the DNS works, for which we have to run these commands to test connectivity. So we'll just take one of them, copy, and I think a minute is over, so I'm going to just run it and see what happens, and we'll say yes. So it looks like it is connecting and logging out. Great. Next one, and paste, and we'll say yes to it. As soon as it says so, DNS may be propagating a little bit, so we have to wait for it for DNS to propagate. This may not have propagated, so it is not responding yet. We'll try again, and it did. So now we connected and disconnected. Next one, third one, copy, bring it here. Third one, try to log in. DNS propagated, we got a connection, we got succeeded. Now we're checking DEIS control version, which is 1.12.2, which is the version that I just put in. We don't need to run these steps because these are the install steps for 1.12.2. We don't need to do that, it's already there. Then enable keyless logins. We have to evaluate the SSH agent and then paste it, and then add this SSH key in SSH add software that we have, which will remember our private key, and so we don't have to type it over and over again. So it just remembers that that's the key I want to use over and over again. Okay, then we set up a tunnel. So we are back in our this folder, DEIS folder, which where we are. We have to export this tunnel, which is a point of entry for us, and then we go listing what services are currently running. We will find that there is nothing running, obviously, and so it should come back with an empty signal saying that there is nothing, which is exactly what we expect. Nothing is running. Now we'll begin installing. So platform, set the key for the platform. That's what we're doing. We set the key, then set the domain name, Hello Cloud Genius, right there, copy, paste, and that sets the domain name. Then we install the platform like that, and they should finish quickly, but then the next one takes time. That's where we were stuck the last time, so we will see how much it takes this time. And what I'm going to do is just watch the timer. So right now this thing is installing. This should finish quickly, and then we will start the platform. The starting part takes a little bit of time apparently, and we'll give it that time it needs. So now the platform is ready to start. I'm going to watch the time. Is 7:31. So starting the platform, we'll watch it how long it takes. We started at 7:31, and so we'll wait for it. So looks like this thing finally succeeded. Right now it is 7:45 and it started at 7:31. So that's the amount of time it took for the platform to start. The platform seems to have started successfully. Now let us list out all the services running there. We'll go in DEIS list, and here we have a list of services that are running on that particular cluster we have created. Next up, we will go and actually start using the platform. Now to use the platform, we need a client utility called DEIS, which is different from DEIS control. We'll check the version, whether we have it installed already, and yes, we do. So we can skip this step. We don't need to install it again. We can just use it. We need to be in this folder, which we are right there, and then register. This registration basically is creating an account on our own platform like this, where you're basically asked for a username and a password and password again and an email address, and then you are registered. After this, you have to send your public keys to DEIS. So the DEIS.pub you have to add. So basically you are going to go to that folder, and by the way, you need to change away from the DEIS folder because the platform as a service installation has succeeded. So we don't need to be working in that folder anymore. We should just come out of it back in our home. And here in our home, we'll be playing, creating new apps, deploying them, and doing whatever we want, but we don't need to be messing with that folder anymore. We can just come out of that. So we are out, and here we're going to add our keys. Now, which key do you want to add? If you have multiple keys, they'll all get listed, but we just have only one key, the DEIS pub. So we'll add that one. This will send your public key to the platform, your own platform as a service. So that key got added. Now we need to get some sample application just to test it out. So we're getting this application right now. This is a ready-made application available at that location, this location, and we will bring it down locally, cloning it, go inside it, and in that we'll go check the remote links. So git remote link. We have it pointing to Cloud Genius and example Ruby Sinatra application. Next one, we are going to create the application on the platform itself. So here is a placeholder for an application. It will get created. It is called Quacky Fishbone. That's the name we randomly got assigned. And so now we'll go check git remote again. And so now we have two remote pointers, one to the origin where it came from, and other to the DEIS location, which is where it is going to. This is going to go to be sent to that location through a push. So the push target is this. That's what we will push it to. And so that's the remote that we now have added, expanded. When you create a DEIS application, it adds a remote link to the placeholder where the application will go and sit. And that when you push, that's where it goes. This will go to that location. So let us push. We will push our application, which is this example application we have right here. We'll send it over to our platform like this. And so the application wants to connect to that pointer, which is our own platform, right? This platform. If you want to connect to that, we'll say yes. And so now it is sending the application. It detected that it's a Ruby application, so it is going to use Ruby, install all the dependencies needed, make things work exactly like the application expects. And you will see it happening in just a moment. The application itself will build and then start running. And this particular push will finish at that. So this push activity that's happening right now will finish as soon as the application gets completely built and deployed on our target, the platform. That's where it's going to create a new URL and a new handle for us to go to http hello.cloudgenie.us. That's what will come up. We will probably have this name. What is that name? Quacky Fishbone. That's the name we will probably get in the URL itself. And it successfully built the app, which is good. Next it will run it and then come out of this push process, and then we can examine what we have running by just opening up DEIS open. It will open a browser inside your virtual machine. So you will see this Firefox browser opening up when you type DEIS open, and that's what I'm doing right now, just leaving it open, and it is open in the background, so we'll leave it there, waiting for this thing to complete the process. And when it does the push completion, we will be able to open our app and see it inside Firefox. That is what I'm waiting for this to do. The push takes maybe a minute, maybe a little bit more. The push includes building and compiling and basically making sure that the app itself runs in the location that we have gotten from them, which is this location, and that's what we are pushing it to that target. And let's wait for it to finish. Then we should be able to see our application right there. So the application push completed, which means our app is ready to be seen. We can open the app or just visit this link like quackifishbone.hello.cloudgenie.us, or we can just use the command line DEIS open. This should open Firefox, and there we have a simple little application powered by DEIS running on this container ID. You can see the container ID 474B Bravo, and that's the URL we have, Quacky Fishbone, Hello Cloud Genius, and we will close it. As simple as that. Now this is running in just one container, but we want to scale it horizontally, like, scale it out. So we want to go scale, and what this will do is basically DEIS scale the web to 3 or maybe 13. It doesn't really matter how many containers you want. The example in the write-up says 3, but in the actual attempt, I am going to scale it across 13 different containers. And this is saying, go get coffee first. So, yeah, it basically tells you, wait, we'll scale it for you. We'll get 13 containers and have the same application running in 13 different instances. You can see that, but just get coffee first. So that is what I'm going to do. Go grab coffee while this thing scales out to 13 different instances. And time for coffee. I'll let this run. It is 7:52 right now, and let us see how long it takes. We'll come back. You can see the scaling finished. We started at 7:52. We finished scaling out to 13 instances by 7:57. And we have these Quacky Fishbone processes expanded, scaled out to 13 different instances. How do we check that? How do we verify? We just go DEIS open one more time. It will open the Firefox browser, and you just note the container ID. This will keep changing every time you refresh the page. So we go click and click and click and click and click, and like that 13 different cases, 13 different instances of containers will serve this application from 13 different container IDs in basically Docker containers. And so we have managed to scale it out comfortably. That's how this platform essentially is working for us, and that completes this exercise primarily, which means now we should go back and destroy our cloud. So how do you destroy? You go back to that same DEIS folder like this, and now you're back in the DEIS folder, that one, and here you will take the Terraform destroy command this time and run the same thing, copy and paste, and this should be the same token they used earlier and the same SSH key ID fingerprint from earlier, and you just destroy. We have to answer the yes question very explicitly, say that yes, I want to destroy yes, and then it destroys. You will see that these droplets getting destroyed in a moment. They'll just disappear and they're going away momentarily, and we have a clean slate now. So destroy completed. If you see DigitalOcean, the droplets are all gone, and that concludes the exercise.